We can all think back to the games we played when we were younger. You think about the nights you stayed up staring at the TV, controller in your hands, and more than just remembering what you were doing in the game at that exact moment, you instead remember the feelings and emotions you felt while playing that game. I'm here to talk about one of those games that I remember loving as a child and pouring hours into, but not really remembering why I loved it so much. And who knows? This could be that exact game for you too. Hello, and welcome everyone to my very first game review here on Chrono Topher. My name is Topher, and to kick things off, I'm choosing to talk about a game that is very special to me. At first, I was trying to figure out what game would be perfect, and I was leaning towards a Zelda game or a Final Fantasy title. But one, both these game series have been done so many times, and two, I'll probably touch up on them at one point or another. But then it hit me. How about I choose a game that I feel not too many people know about or have done reviews on? At least in my circle, not too many people seem to know about this game, and that game being The Legend of Dragoon. You're probably asking yourself, what the heck is a Dragoon? Is he just saying dragon wrong or in a funny way? Is he stupid? And if you're asking yourself any of these things, then let me tell you that you're only 1/3 correct here. You can think of a Dragoon as a dragon warrior of a sort. A being that specializes in fighting against dragons. That's more or less the general definition, seeing as many games have different interpretations of what a Dragoon is. I first picked this game up back in 2001, that I think was a Target. I was 12 years old in the 6th grade, and my mom said I could get a game. To be completely honest, I had no idea what this game was about, or even why I chose this over so many other games. It's almost like I was drawn to this game. I mean, look at it. Look at the cover. Let's analyze the cover for a second here. You got this awesome looking guy in red armor to the side here that has this epic sword and freaking wings. Not only that, he has these two beautiful girls next to him, also in freaking awesome armor and with different weapons. Why wouldn't I choose this game? Also, the title had The Legend of in it, and by this time, I was already an established Zelda fanboy, having grown up watching my mom and brothers play the earlier Zelda games. It has the word Dragoon, which I already knew I liked because when my brothers played Final Fantasy Tactics on PS1, they had asked me to look in the guide and choose what class I wanted to be. It goes without saying that I chose the Dragoon class. This game was a revolution for me as a kid, and one of the many reasons why RPGs are still one of my favorite genres today. The first thing I want to touch on here is the combat, and it's probably one of the reasons this game is so praised amongst its fans. Legend of Dragoon strays away from your traditional turn-based style RPGs and adds a simple yet rewarding layer to the combat that encourages you to stay engaged during battle. Turn-based style games utilize things such as action meter or a gauge that fills after time passes, and then that character can perform an action once it's full. Though this helped keep you in battle and made it so that you couldn't just walk away from the game mid-fight, this method could become tiring and just adds unnecessary length onto a game. I don't hate action meters, seeing as Final Fantasy uses them quite a bit in some of their games, like Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy XII, which are both very popular and great games in my opinion. The Legend of Dragoon doesn't use an action meter. However, instead, lets you feel engaged in battle when attacking. Almost all physical attacks require you to use something called additions in the game. Additions determine how your character attacks and how many attacks they can make towards an enemy. By lining up two squares at the moment of your attack, if you succeed at pushing X at the right time, you'll be able to perform more attacks up to how many your current addition allows. They do take practice getting used to, as the speed of the squares vary by character and the addition chosen, but by the end of the game, you're pretty much an expert at each one and have no problem pulling them off. It's rewarding. You're dealing the most damage you can because you are perfect timing the hits and you are reacting fast enough. You feel good when you finish a combo, and vice versa, you feel frustrated at yourself when you miss time an attack or you're not paying attention. You only have yourself to blame. And they use this battle element regularly in the game. For instance, against some enemies, you're punished for not completing a combo and take damage because of it. I could go on about how well Legend of Dragoon conducts battle, but we'd be here forever. To sum it up, you don't get bored in fights at all. The battle system does stand out as far as gameplay elements. And another notable thing also includes how it's only sometimes random encounters. But I like the way this game is with the cursor above Dart's head. The game lets you know when you're close to an enemy encounter by the color of the cursor above Dart's head when walking around. Green for, you're good. And yellow for, you're okay, but something's close. And red, you're about to get attacked. It's nothing really groundbreaking, but this was the first time seeing something like this. It was sometimes daunting when you're low on health and you're just about to make it to town and the cursor shows red. Sometimes you made it to safety, but other times you just got into a fight. This just added another layer to traveling around instead of just randomly getting encounters. I don't want to spoil the story at all, but I do want to talk about what a great story plot The Legend of Dragoon has. In a land where fantasy is reality, a young man seeks revenge. Dart's family was killed 18 years ago by something or someone known as the Black Monster. Almost 2 decades ago, this despicable beast ravaged the town of Neat. Dart's father and mother become casualties of this event. For the last 5 years, he searched the earth for this monster. 5 years have only made him a stronger warrior. But the fire still burns within him. With the taste of revenge still in his mouth, he gives up his quest. Temporarily. He returns to his homeland only to find it in turmoil. The country is at war and his dear friend Shauna has been caught in the middle of it. What begins simply as a quest to save a friend becomes an epic journey that will change the course of fate. If I didn't play this game again recently, I wouldn't be able to tell you the story of Legend of Dragoon in detail. Thinking back, I was just a dumb little kid playing this game and probably had no idea what was going on half the time. Like, I kind of knew, but not like I understand now. Replaying the game, I understand the plot more, and it reinforces why I love the game as much as I do. The game has a cast of unforgettable characters that you learn to love throughout the game. Customizing characters isn't hard because they all essentially have specific equipment geared towards them, and it's only accessories that you can switch between them. Each character brings their strengths to the table, and I never felt like any one character stopped being relevant at any given point. The Legend of Dragoon is far from perfect though. The visuals can't stand the test of time. And what I mean by this is, the game was gorgeous 19 years ago, but isn't considered a timeless classic because of the graphics then compared to today's standards. I know graphics aren't everything, but not all gamers today grew up on the archaic graphics that a lot of us did. Show this game to someone today and it'd probably take you a well put together review on YouTube to get someone to even try it. With that being said, let's carry on. I just want to rant about this game for a second here. I love The Legend of Dragoon. Dart has always been a character I wanted to cosplay, but it's not as well known as I'd like, and I'd fear just being mistaken as the Red Ranger or something. I love everything about the battle system, and I'll never get tired of landing perfect combos on enemies. Turning into a Dragoon mid-fight and at the right time is so rewarding, and you know you're about to wreck someone when you do. The music is memorable, and it just gets you pumped to keep adventuring. I recommend this game to anyone who is a fan of Square Enix, wants an introduction to the classic titles on the PS1, or is just looking for something completely different than anything they've come across before. but what I'd give to have this game remastered or reimagined with today's game engines. I can't thank you enough for watching my video. I had a lot of fun making this, and I'm really proud of what I did here. If you enjoyed what you saw and you want to see more like this, consider subscribing to my channel so that you know when I come out with more. If you like what you saw and you want to show support, then check out my Patreon page linked in the description below. Even $1 is way more than enough, and I appreciate each and every one of you already helping me. Please do not feel pressured to donate, and only do it if you can. But definitely feel free to discuss in the comments below whether you agree with me that The Legend of Dragoon is an amazing game, or disagree and think the game is garbage. But be sure to just let me know so that I can continue to improve and grow my YouTube channel. I enjoy the discussions, and I look forward to your comments. My name is Topher. Till next time.